Right now.
I think there's a bit of a time delay.
It says our little microphone's working. It's a bit too big.
Oh. Oh, yay.
There we go. All right, we're on.
We'll wait for a few other people to drop through.
No, let's just get started.
Yeah, let's just.
Oh.
But
Oh,
really? Hello? Hello?
Is this better? Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're here in Panama. We've come through the canal and we're in Panama City. And it's the first busy city we've been in. Oh, hi, Jack. And
finally in the Pacific Ocean, which is super exciting. We are the closest to home that we've been in 9 months.
We're in our Mother Ocean now.
Which also means we're on the way home.
Yeah, Mum's happy about that, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really happy about that.
Yeah.
So let's go, guys. Let's kick this off. Let's get some questions happening. Who wants to start? What about Rito?
Come on, Rito. We know you've got some burning questions. Cricket. I think there's a bit of a time delay.
All right. Well, why don't we keep going on what we're up to, and when we get the first question, we'll go to that.
Wait for a question.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, of course you'd ask that, Rito. Of course. Pretty good. We landed our first tuna on the way over here.
We've definitely spent more money on lures and fishing gear than we could have just probably bought the fish, but that's not the point. It's going really good. We've caught some good mahis, one tuna, heaps of Spanish mackerel. When we're up in the San Blas, we caught 3 Spanish mackerels. We threw one back, but some decent sized Spanish mackerels. So that was really nice.
And I've learned how to stab them in the head and fillet them now. So we're both fishermen now.
And also spearfishing is going well. The only fish I've actually got back on the boat is lionfish.
So many lionfish.
And they don't really count because, I mean, they just sit there and kind of come to you. So, but, I got a squid the other day.
Oh my God. He spearfished a squid.
It was great.
Who does that?
But it was delicious.
It was delicious. We
it was
made
pretty hard. It was a pretty hard shot to
and
get.
there's just black ink everywhere. Just a plume. Good. Kill the lion.
Welcome, Martin. Oh, sorry, Tim. Sorry, welcome, Tim.
Yeah. Glad to see you angling again.
But yeah, look, we're really excited for the South Pacific. I think there's going to be hopefully some epic fishing.
Yeah.
And we're just considering whether we're going to build up our arsenal of fishing gear.
Well, also apparently the sharks are pretty rife down there as well, so we might need to get a few more knives strapped to the legs.
Okay.
Yeah, but
and some lures.
Yeah, so we're leaving for the Galapagos. Hopefully on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that's going to be about 1,000 miles at sea, so seven or 8 days.
Yeah, a lot of boat work to do between now and then, guys.
Oh my God, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
We haven't really been sleeping this week. How is the boat going? Sails, engine, any maintenance issues you need to resolve before the trip?
Great question, Jack.
Where do we begin?
I just finished yesterday I went on a 7.5-hour round trip to the sailmaker where I picked up our sails. I had to get a new luff tape and leech tape on the main, which was definitely just degrading over time. But sales-wise, they actually have been really good. I mean, we've done 10,000 miles now with them.
They're good sales.
And yeah, they just needed a few patches, a few bits and pieces. So we've put all the sails back in now.
Yeah, she's looking
so
good
they're looking
now.
really good.
New running rigging.
We got a few new sheets on the boat.
New reefs, new preventer setup. You're very pleased with your preventer setup, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm very happy. So we've just installed a new preventer system on the boat. For you that don't know, the preventer is the rope that goes from the end of your boom to the front of your boat for when you're sailing downwind, and you use that to stop the boom from swapping over to the other side if you accidentally jibe. So what we had on the Atlantic was we had one preventer, and when we did jibe, it meant we had to change all the pulleys and change the whole system over.
Dangerous.
So we've actually got a preventer on both sides now.
Yeah,
so
we'll probably won't have to go on deck.
Yeah.
Really. Well, hopefully. Yeah. Changing the pole.
Engine issues. We currently have algae in the fuel tank, which we're trying to get rid of. We've got the biocide in there working its magic, I hope, and need to do another fuel filter change to see what else we've sucked up. I learned how to clean the heat exchanger today because our engine started running hot weirdly the other day. And it was full of calcium, full of stuff.
Yeah, it was so strange to see. And the thing that these guys don't know yet is that we were having starter motor issues on the way down to Panama.
Yeah.
So it was really quite scary. We'd try and turn the engine on sometimes and it would just go choo-choo-choo-choo-choo and then not turn on. And we met this amazing guy called Greg in Panama, and he had a little look over our engine, and all it was apparently was that the starter motor was dirty. So gave it a little scrub the brushes, and works like a dream now.
Yeah, it works really well.
Just before we were about to go through the canal, we had another issue, didn't we? Just before we were about to leave to go through the canal. And for those of you who don't know, if you break down in the canal, it's
very expensive.
Really expensive. You don't want to break down the canal.
No.
And the advisors came on our boat, the pilots came on our boat, and the first question they asked was, any issues with the engine? All good? And we were just there going, no, all good.
You haven't told them the issue though.
Oh, well, you tell them the issue because I'll explain it wrong.
Okay. Just as we were getting ready in the morning to make our sail down to the canal, I started up the engine as per normal, went downstairs to get a bowl of cereal, and then the engine just stopped. And the only time it's ever done that was when we ran out of fuel, and I knew that we had a full fuel tank. And that's how I found the algae issue, because I started with the fuel system and checked all that out, and we had algae in the filters. So I thought that was a blockage, but it actually turned out to be an electrical connection with the fuel pump, and so the fuel pump wasn't getting any power. So anyway, we fixed that, luckily.
Yeah. And learned a few things along the way, so that's good.
But all in all, we've had a really busy 2 weeks getting the boat ready. We installed a new holding tank. I also replaced the rubber bumper that was on the back of the boat and installed a new swim platform.
It looks really nice.
Which looks pretty good. Yeah. So you guys will see that in a few episodes coming up.
Or if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen it already in the story.
But so Jack, to answer your questions, the issues are getting less and less. I had a list of probably 200 things to do, and we're down to about 10, maybe 15. We've got a lot of provisioning to do. So the next few days is a lot of trips to supermarkets.
And we walked out onto the deck the other day, and there was only one cockpit cushion. So one of them has been sacrificed to Neptune. So we had to go to the fabric shop and get them to make us up a whole new one. So that was something that we didn't need. But, such is boat life. Such is boat life. Hi, Randy. Hi, Alberto. Thanks for joining.
Hello to everyone that's just joined now. The boat's going well. We're feeling really good about the boat. which is always important when you're about to embark on an ocean crossing. You can never plan for the unexpected. You can try. We met a really nice Australian couple who have been here for 6 weeks now and have pretty much got an entire second engine of just spare parts. They've just got every spare part. So I felt a little bit overwhelmed that I'm possibly not carrying all the spare parts.
Oh, you can never have all the spare parts. You'd need a shadow boat for all the spare parts. I think you've got a pretty good setup. You've got spare rigging, for God's sakes. That's spare parts for you.
Yeah.
Do you like Bundaberg rum? Oh, Jackson's a more discerning Aussie. Yeah.
I definitely went through a Bundy rum phase.
We all did, didn't we?
We all did. It's a bit hard to not be a Bundy rum drinker when you're doing a lot of the yacht racing and skiff racing. But I have a bit more of an acquired taste now. I'm into a bit more spiced rum.
And the Ronza Kappa.
And I do like Ronza Kappa.
Which is half the price it is in Australia. Here in Panama, half the price.
Yeah. So, look, a little bit more top shelf than some of the Bundy you get out there. I think Bundy will still always have a soft spot in my heart. But, yeah, I go for the spiced rum or a Ronza Kappa when I can.
It's taken me 3 years to get a bottle here stateside.
Really?
Well,
we'll have to do something about that.
Yeah, we'll have to hook you up in some way, Alberto. Leave it with us.
If we know someone that goes going to the States, we'll get them to pick you up some duty-free.
Yeah. You just don't export it. Oh, well, it's probably not really good enough to export.
I had no idea that we didn't export Bundy.
I think there's a lot better rums.
There's Bundy here. I've seen Bundy here.
No, there isn't. Really?
I'm sure of it. 100%.
I'm not sure
100% I saw Bundy here in Panama.
Can you go and order me one?
Yeah.
Will you be providing a link to your tracker for us to follow? What do you mean by tracker?
Our Iridium Go does a tracker.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So the answer is yes.
Yeah,
we are going to try to get that up and running.
Yeah.
I know that our parents are very vested in getting the tracker up and happening. So we will, yes, the answer is yes. I'll try to do that. And we'll put a link up for you guys. And we'll see if it works to the Galapagos. And if it's not working, then we'll try and fix it.
Yes, we will. It seems like you're making a beeline for Australia. Are you going to stop cruising when you get there and go back to regular jobs? Alberto, we don't know the answer to this. We're just seeing how we go. I mean, the plan was always to do it till the money runs out, and we kind of planned a specific amount of money for a specific amount of time. But a lot of surprises happen in boat life, and it's definitely not played out the way that we thought it would. I mean, a lot of things have played out for the better. I mean, we never actually planned on really doing much YouTube, and we certainly never planned on doing Patreon. But like 4 months into our journey, we did. And that's really changed the face of it. It's actually given us kind of broader horizons and given us a possibility to maybe even take it to Indonesia and go up and come around to Australia from the top, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
So we're open to it. Really open to it.
And just to go back a few steps there, I think we do talk about it in our earlier videos, but when we started this adventure, we had always planned on 18 months.
Yeah.
And that was, when we were back in Oz, we said we wanted to go on an 18-month adventure of a lifetime, and that was what we could envisage at that time. And so that 18 months going from the Med is sort of 6 months Med, 6 months Caribbean, 6 months South Pacific with, plenty of miles in between.
Yeah.
So we're still on track for that, to get back there. But yeah, look, we don't know what it's going to hold at the end of this South Pacific season. As Xanthe said, if we still have some money in the bank and whatnot, we want to keep the dream alive and keep going. And we don't know where that will take us.
I think the thing that complicates it is that we do have really good lives back in Sydney. I mean, you loved your job. so much. He had a great job in Sydney, and of course all our friends and family are there as well. So it's a tough call, but I think we'd be bonkers if we had the means to be able to go.
They've just lost video and audio.
Oh no! Did you press that?
I haven't touched anything. No.
Hello.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, back in the game.
Thanks, Alberto.
I don't know where we left you, but thanks, Jack.
Oh, perfect.
You guys will be getting a tracker. Jack's just given us a step-by-step guide.
There we go. Perfect.
So. Oh, okay. Thanks, Alberto. So, we were saying that we'd probably be bonkers if we had the means to continue this trip and extend to Indonesia or what have you. We'd probably be bonkers to bypass the opportunity. So, look, if it's an opportunity that's available to us, then we will take it. Yeah. But yeah, the same.
Otherwise, we'll go home, save some more money, and think about the next boat.
Whatever happens, there is going to be an Avalon too. That's the definite thing, because we've been going around the world, tearing through the world like a hurricane, really. And every place we go, we'll say, well, we'll save those islands for the next time.
Yeah.
You know? What are you looking at?
Trying to find the next question.
It's down there.
Oh, down the bottom. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Will Avalon? Monohull.
Yeah, really good question.
We love monohull. We're monohull people.
Yeah.
Aren't we? Speaking for you.
I don't know. It's a great question.
When we see a lot of sexy boats coming past us in the anchorage. There's only been a couple of occasions where cats have gone past and we've gone, oh, the upgrade. But every time a sexy monohull comes by, that's Avalon too.
I don't know, unless you could get like a really well-performing cat that was fun to sail.
Yeah.
I think for me that is really important, I think, is a really nice boat to sail, because you inevitably spend a lot of time sailing. Our boat is nice to sail. It's just your standard production boat that goes 6 to 7 knots.
Yeah.
So if I had my time over,
something faster,
I would probably choose a bit more of a performance type monohull that was a bit more interesting to sail, maybe even a little more technical to sail.
Agreed.
Something that, you know, could go 9 knots, 10 knots, you know, that would absolutely change the way we cruise.
That would be mad.
So, yeah, I would say at the moment our preference would be to go for a monohull. I think a catamaran is great for anchorages and when you're sitting in marinas and stuff like that. They don't look too much fun to sail upwind, but there's a massive comfort factor for the size of the boat. So, anyway.
Sorry, I've just seen Randy's question.
Yeah.
So we have a patron called Randy who is trying to convince us to change the name of our dinghy to Oliver.
Why is that?
Because of Top Gear. It's a Top Gear reference. Our dinghy is called Maz, which is my mum's name, named after her.
Yeah.
So I'd feel really bad changing the name to Oliver. But how about Oliver could be the middle name? I don't know.
I do like Alberto's comment here, though. You do complain a lot about the boat rocking at anchor.
That is very cheeky, Alberto. That's very cheeky. I've only complained about it once.
That's not true. You're always
really?
Complaining. Yeah. You always complain about it.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
I mean.
But you are right there, Alberto. More performance equals more work, more money, more technical. So, I don't know. You just spend a lot of time sailing, and a lot of time, like I just spend just going, oh well, the boat's just doing what it's doing. Like I find a lot of enjoyment in really refining and, you know, pulling that vang on an extra inch and getting everything you can out of it. So if I actually had a boat that responded to that, it would be great.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You don't really talk much about the people you meet. Why not tell us about them and include them in your videos? That's a really big topic for us, Alberto. So we will meet cruisers along the way, and you form really strong bonds with these people because we're all in the same boat, pardon the pun. And then the other people that we meet are guests that we have on board to come and see us. Now, we really cherish the time with those people, and at the same time, I mean, we're on YouTube. We like making videos about our worlds, but not everyone's really comfortable with that. So we're still trying to feel our way of when to stick a camera in someone's face and when to put a camera into a room and change the whole dynamic of just the sitting down and enjoying each other's company. We're getting better at it, and you will actually get to meet a fair few of our friends in the next coming episodes. And actually, do you want to meet one of our friends now? Alexa? They want to meet you. We've got a friend. Hi. This is Alexa. How's it going?
So, Alexa, why don't you tell our patron family here all about yourself? And why are you here with us right now?
All right, put on the spot. So I've just done 3 months mountaineering and snowboarding in Japan, and then went to Indo, where I've been surfing and training with my surf coach. And I've always wanted to sail across a large expanse of water and go and explore some surf that maybe someone hasn't surfed before. And Xanthe is one of my great friends, and I had the opportunity to, and I always say yes to things. So thanks, guys.
His Amazon triggered Alexa.
Oh, you're kidding. Yeah, it was funny. I used to work on Google for Google Home, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Alexa, can you do the competitive report for Alexa?" And it wasn't very funny. And it's still not very funny.
I remember when Alexa came out, you got really annoyed. Why did they have to call it Alexa?
Well, I thought my name was quite unique and cool, and then not anymore.
But the important thing is that Alexa is going to be doing the crossing with us.
And she's a sailor.
And is going to be hanging out with us for almost 2-3 months.
3 months.
Sorry.
It's going to be a long time.
You better prove your worth.
And it was Alexa that was saying just last night that we should put more effort into filming the people we meet along the way. So that is very hot topic right now for us, that we want to make more of an effort to do that. And document who we meet and the interesting people out there that I guess you guys don't see if you're not there.
What boat's your dad got, Alexa?
Yeah, so this is quite a funny one. So we have, my dad and my mum, a 48-foot land impression, and which is the same boat as Avalon. And bizarrely, I'm Croatian, or my mum's Croatian, and we were all at home in Croatia. And Xanthe and Jackson were like, "Oh, we're coming to Pula. We found a boat," and it happens to be the same boat as my dad. So that was a real beautiful coincidence. Not only were you like right next to my house, but so you got to like come and hang out with my family and stuff. But also, I'm really familiar with the boat. So
and to have Alexa's dad, who has had it for 10 years,
10 or 15
he was
years
a
or
font
something.
of knowledge.
It was great because he was just the guy that was like, "Oh yeah, check this out on your ELAN and this on your ELAN because these go wrong and this goes wrong, but this is really good." So, next question is who are our favorite other vloggers?
We don't really get the chance to watch other YouTube channels for obvious reasons, but
it's not obvious. Tell them why.
Well, the internet. We don't really get the internet. But we love Uma, don't we?
Yeah, we really like sailing Uma.
They're really nice guys.
For most of us, like most of us here, I'm sure it started with Le Vagabond.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what started.
That goes without saying. They are legend. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. We love Sailing Inspire. We actually hung out with them the Caribbean side of Panama, and they are amazing people. I don't think they really play it down on camera about how awesome they are, but their whole life story is really impressive.
I think for now I like before I used to focus a lot on Le Vagabond and Delos and whatnot, but now I focus on a lot more of the smaller channels like ourselves, simply because they're new to it often, like Parlay Revival.
Oh, they're amazing.
We really like
Parlay
them because
Revival.
It's a bit more of a different story of them, like, you know, a storm damaged cat, and you know he's got really interesting crew, and I quite like that journey.
And they're giving people. They've only been doing this for a while, and they've already like done things for charity and created the first regatta in Panama as well. So yeah, we like Parlay Revival.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? Oh, Randy says, have you had a crack at Premiere Pro for editing yet? Yes, love it. It's actually changed my world. I can now edit 3 videos at once instead of jittering through one video in iMovie for weeks. And I'm getting better and better at it. I'm watching the videos that you sent me, Randy, and with the shortcuts and everything, and that's really helping. So love Premiere. Alberto, your Alexa must have been going crazy just then. Alberto, I tried to book a catamaran in September 2020 in Croatia. They were already completely booked. Probably a good thing. There's no wind in Croatia. It sucks. It's very nice though. Go to the Caribbean.
Yeah, go to the Caribbean.
Actually, there's lots of cats in the Caribbean, in the BVIs actually, and we felt like there was something strange going on because for a moment we thought, are we the only monohull in the BVIs? And all the cats would just be descending upon you. And yeah, it felt like a conspiracy.
Yeah, it did. There was just cats everywhere.
I found MJ sailing first. I haven't seen Vagabond yet.
Jokes.
That can't be true.
I like Alberto's next one. The best one on that one, it goes back to our last one. We don't have any internet, so...
Oh, you have to... No one can see the question. You have to read it out, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jackson, when Xanthe finds all the porn sites in your browser history, who do you blame? The best news is we don't have any internet, so there's no browser history.
But how come when I type in like the word MI, midget donkey porn comes up in your browser? Like
that's an X fetish pre-boat fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because that's kind of hard to orchestrate on a boat. So I'm glad that that's over.
Done the Caribbean.
Oh, you gave up and done the Caribbean way too much. You must have done the Caribbean a lot then, because we found that there are so many corners and they're all different, and we could circle the Caribbean for 10 years, I reckon.
That comes up if you watch Game of Thrones.
I can't wait for Game of Thrones to come back. Come back, Game of Thrones.
We need more.
Yeah.
In terms of Caribbean, I mean, we've been rushing through everywhere. Our trip has always been about quality over quantity. So we knew we weren't going to be able to get everywhere this time around. But we try to make the most of all the places that we do go.
Yeah. Emily, hello, Emily. Did you decide to insure your boat? If so, what type of cover did you get, and who did you decide to go with?
So we are with Pantaneous. We've just got full cover on the boat, third party, liability, everything. For us, it was really not even a question whether we were going to get insured or not. We put every dollar we had into this boat.
Every dollar.
And it's really, I personally think it's pretty affordable. It's would work out maybe $2,500 a year. And yeah, I personally think it's worth it.
Gives peace of mind. It makes it easier to book into marinas because they always ask for it. It just makes life easier in every respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I would, obviously it comes down to, I think, the value of your boat, but I mean, it's the damages that you cause to yourself and other people, and I don't know, I wasn't that confident sailing in the beginning.
And it's good having Alexa on board for this long and knowing that she's insured. That helps her as well.
Yeah, you insure your crew and the people on the boat if there's accidents and stuff. So I think it's a good idea.
We've met lots of Australian couples on this adventure, and they're all with Pantaneous. So seems to be the choice.
Yeah.
Lots of things come through. So Jackson, how long can you hold your breath for?
Yeah. When we did our free diving course, I got it to just over 3 minutes, which I was pretty happy about. It's a bit harder when you're diving down. I'm getting down to about 20 meters now. And obviously your bottom time significantly reduces the deeper you go.
You never time yourself though, do you? I see you go down there for ages and I ask you how long you've gone and you're like, I don't know.
I would say I'm feeling pretty comfortable these days around 10 and 12 meters, and I'm hanging down there for about 2 to 2.5 minutes at best. But just static in the pool, I've been able to hold my breath for over 3. It's not that impressive.
But you have gone down to 20 plus meters before. You just don't do it that often.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was life in the Caribbean? Were there many boats around you most of the time? Was it overcrowded? Or can you find some privacy? I didn't find it overcrowded at all.
No.
It was really surprising.
Oh, yeah.
We had places to ourselves a lot. And Sabre, we were the only boat there the whole week.
Yeah. I think the BVI's was very crowded. That was the most crowded place we went to.
But we still found little anchorages with no one else or just one boat. So
you just had to get off the beaten track a little.
There's a lot of terrain and a lot of anchorages, so that means that you can get away from crowds if you want.
Yeah, but we found so many amazing places all throughout the Caribbean. So yeah, I would not say that it was too crowded.
Did you find the Caribbean more expensive than the Mediterranean? Yes and no.
Really great question. We're actually, my next sort of little series that I want to do is like a bit of a tips on cruising.
Yeah.
And it was just generalizations and things we found.
Stuff we wish we knew.
So first thing is the food in the Caribbean, we found it insanely expensive. To buy good quality fresh fruit, veggies, meat. Because you realize pretty quickly that most of these islands do not grow anything themselves, do not produce much themselves, except for rum and beer.
Bag of flour was $5, let's put it that way. And pasta was expensive.
So we found it really, really expensive to live in the Caribbean.
Europe was expensive, but it got cheaper the further west you went. So Spain was just, we were like kids in a candy shop.
Yeah.
Spain was heaven for food and booze. Spain's the best. And
early on as well, because our boat had 250 litres of water. So when the first few months of when we were cruising, or first 2 months, we were in marinas a fair bit, filling up the water. We were also just getting our confidence with anchoring and cruising. So we probably spent a bit too much time in marinas early on.
Yeah.
And they really hit a hole in the budget.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say the Caribbean, really expensive for food, really expensive for any kind of yacht supplies you need. To be honest with you, I pretty much did no boat work for the last 3 months because it was just insane on how expensive the supplies were.
Panama's good though.
But there weren't that many marinas.
Panama's good.
I think in the last 3 months we would have been in a marina for 4 nights. So
but Panama's good for food and all.
Yeah.
Like it gets normal prices again when you get to Panama.
Yeah.
Do you guys have international certificates of competency, (ICC? If not, have you had any issues with authorities? Thank you for the helpful answers.
ICC was very helpful for Greece. I think that's mostly, actually, it was Greece and Montenegro.
Yeah.
Those were the only 2 places that I was ever asked for a actual skipper's license, sailing license.
But Emily, we've spoken to other people who have gone through those countries and apparently they didn't have them, and then they said they didn't have them and it wasn't really an issue. So I don't know. The reason Jackson did the ICC was purely for that that concept. He'd read the forums that you won't be able to get into some of the countries wanted to, and so he went and did the course. You learned some good things on the
I was going to say, I also would really recommend the course. I did my first proper like night sail with them, like navigating and stuff like that. I thought it was a really valuable course to do anyway. And it was a 2 day, it was a 1 day in the classroom, 2 days out at sea. I thought it was a great course to do. And it is so, we met people, as Xanthe said, that didn't bother with it. We had people that just used like their boat license, an Australian boat license, which is for power boats, and they got away with that.
Yeah.
So I guess it comes down to, if you've got the time and money to do it, I would definitely do it. If you're going to risk it, then just risk it and cross your fingers.
Yeah. Alberto has said that when he sees videos of places he went back to in the 70s, they're really crowded and the water isn't as clean and the reefs look half dead. It's really sad. I can imagine that, Alberto. We did find a lot of dead reefs in the Caribbean and it was sad. But on the same token, we found a lot of really thriving reefs. My degree was in marine biology, so obviously we're going back a long way, but from what I learned from that was that a healthy reef system, if there's a lot of large corals such as elkhorn coral, I haven't seen elkhorn coral for 10 years, so it was really nice to see quite large structures of that around in St. Kitts and the BVIs. And I think because they're no-take fishing zones, that made such a difference, and it to the health of the environment around. So,
I think the reefs were great. I really enjoyed them. I mean, not great as in like always full of life, but there's still plenty there.
Thanks for the ICC advice. This is Emily. We plan to buy a boat in Croatia. Good choice. Who did you use as a boat broker and boat surveyor? Are there any others you can recommend? I love this question because I'm sure you've been told that you have to be really, really, really careful in Croatia because there are some horror stories. We got really lucky. We dealt with a number of boat brokers, and there's actually one boat broker that's been given a hate. Someone has created a hate website for them. We went to go and see them anyway, and it became very apparent.
Selimar yacht.
Very apparent. Yes, Selimar. Don't bother with Selimar. They led us up the garden path, basically. We got a taxi there. It was a long way. And they had basically got us there under false pretenses. There wasn't really any of the boats we wanted. And, they were a nightmare. But we dealt with a guy called Sasha at a boat broker's called Munitor up in Pula, and he was amazing. He bent over backwards for us, even after the sail had gone through and we were on the boat fixing it. He'd come and see us every day, and he helped us with our post. He drove us around. He took us to the best pizza place in Pula. He was so helpful.
But I guess going back a few steps, I mean, when we were looking at boats, I would have sent out requests, because I mean, I looked at everything I tried to find boats on was just online, right? It was your standard Yacht Worlds and boats.com and all that kind of stuff. I would have sent out 500 requests for information and interest.
I did too.
I mean, between the two of us. And out of that 500, we maybe would have got maybe 200 replies back, which sounds like a lot, but out of that 200 replies, and I'm talking over 6 months, we got a short list of probably 25 boats that somewhat fitted what we wanted. And the reason for a lot of that was, like, a lot of the boats advertised online are just not what they say. They're not actually available. They're actually in charter for another year or 2 years, and they're trying to sell it while it's still in charter, or it was never straightforward. So the first thing I'd say is, like, just do your best with all your email communications and just trust your gut a bit on it.
It really is about the gut thing. I mean, you'll get a feel for who you can trust and who you can't. There was another lady called Nina at Batch Yachting.
Yeah, so B-A-C-H yachting.
Like the composer, Bach. She was in Split. And she, again, bent over backwards for us and was just a salt of the earth lady. So, yeah, you'll know when you speak to them.
Emily, shoot us down a message as well when you're thinking about...
She already has.
No. Oh, when? For what?
Oh, no, she sent us a message on Facebook.
Okay.
We'll
because I was going to say, like...
We'll send you a long little description of what you need to do.
What we went over in April, right? Because we knew we wanted to go sailing last year. And that was probably the worst time to go in terms of finding boats.
They were laughing us out of the boat brokers, like, nah, come back in October.
Yeah, because everyone over there just really, they've already signed their boats up for charter. Yeah. They've already signed another year of marina fees. So if you can go back in October, if you want to start in like Split, I would say start with Nina and back yachting because she had over 400 boats. And if we'd gone back in October, she would have had probably about 15 boats that we would have looked at that were exactly what we wanted.
Yeah. She put the time in.
And she actually put us in contact with good boats still that we didn't know about. In terms of surveyors, I can't remember the name of the surveyor.
Sina,
yeah. Yeah, Sina.
So we were recommended 2 surveyors. One for the south half of Croatia called Sina. He's like 70 years old, and
we were recommended him.
Yeah, so we were recommended Sina, and because our boat was in the north, he said, "Oh, I can't help you, but I'll hook you up with someone." So Sina is obviously really experienced. He's 70, and he came highly recommended to us. Yeah. And then we went with Damir Bath in the north, and again bent over backwards for us.
But again, I would have contacted 7 different surveyors and got a very varying response. Yeah. Some of them will give you one word replies of yes I can or no I can't, and then other ones, the more professional ones, would send a template survey report of saying this is all the list of stuff I will do, this is how I will check it. And Damir really became our point of call for a lot of stuff. And I was very open with him at the beginning, and I was very open and said, look, this is our first boat. We're coming from Australia. I'm really relying on you to help me negotiate this because I need you to check all the paperwork to make sure this is a legit sale, that I'm not getting ripped off.
That's what you have to watch out for in Croatia, because sometimes if you buy a boat off the charter company, it's the papers can say that it belongs to someone else, and then you pay them the money, and then they go, ha ha ha, I've got your money, and get out of there. So you have to cross-reference the names.
I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but a lot of the boats still have mortgages on them, and sometimes it can be a little bit not straightforward. So
I'm pretty sure that what I said is a thing, but this one thinks it isn't.
Yeah. Anyway,
we both did our separate research, and I'm so sure of that. So look into that. Okay, we've only actually got 5 minutes left, so we're going for 50 minutes. We're going for 50 minutes. So if you've got any questions and you're being shy, get them in. Is there a favourite fish to catch? I prefer mahi to almost everything. We really enjoyed our tuna, didn't we?
Yeah, the mahi's a pretty fun fish to catch. Yeah. Like it's a pretty good fighting fish, and great tasting. The Spanish mackerels are useless on the end of it. They almost just jump in the boat by the end of it.
Yeah.
And the tuna was actually a bit of a fight as well. But the tuna was definitely the most delicious so far.
Yeah.
So if I had a choice, I'd probably catch another tuna. Yeah. But that's because we caught a bunch of mahi.
Yeah. Yeah, we loved our tuna. I want to go for a yellowfin next time.
You're going to target specifically a yellowfin tuna.
I'm going to research how to do it.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm going to share my findings when I catch a yellowfin tuna.
All right.
Oh, actually, maybe Rido's got some tips. Just send them my way if you got them. With Alexa on board, you must be happy to have an easier 3-2-1 watch schedule. Yeah, it's always good to have an extra pair of hands.
Absolutely. We just did the crossing from the BVI's down to Panama. That was a 7-day crossing, 1,000 miles, which was the longest passage Xanthe and I had done, just the two of us.
Really tired.
It was really hard work. In the middle of that, we had 48 hours of a sustained 30 to 37 knots. And that was really hard work. And that, like, you could really, we started to feel the pinch on that, where, you know, a hard 2 days in the middle of your crossing really wore both of us down.
And also Ray, he's our third crew member. He's our autopilot. He also feels the strain as well. Exactly. So it's good to have another pair of hands to help Ray out. So, any recommended reading for passage planning? Any must-have books? Nige. Yeah, you need Nige. Yeah. Tell them about Nige.
So I've got the absolute must-have book. It's like the mechanical and electrical handbook of all things boats. It's by Nigel Calder. It's about 800 pages long. I'm still yet to have a problem that isn't mentioned in there somewhere. Really helpful for obviously when you don't have internet. I use internet a lot for a lot of questions, but
we never have it.
He'll be able to give me some kind of insight into something I had no idea about. Passage planning, to be honest, a lot of the passage planning that I learnt about was actually through podcasts. The podcasts I listen to are the Med Sailing podcast by Franz. I would really recommend that. And the Ocean Sailing podcast by David Howe. He is an Aussie. I quite like David Howe because he does a lot of like trans-Tasman races and ocean, like solo races, and he's quite in depth about getting ready for a passage and how he'll prepare for it. The other really good resource that we had, obviously for the Atlantic, was being part of the ARC, and they kind of gave us a handbook prior to it, which really helped us with passage planning. But yeah, I don't actually have a specific book to recommend on passage planning.
Oh, Jimmy Cornell, surely.
Jimmy Cornell is good for like cruising routes, but not so much of like how someone should plan a passage. In terms of like, you know, how are you working out your weather models and how are you provisioning and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, keep us updated on what you find, Emily, because we could do with some more books. Are you through the canal still in Caribbean side? We are through the canal, Alberto.
Yeah.
And what are your plans for video uploads in the Pacific? We're actually going to give my niece a job. So I'm going to post US. I've actually been working really super hard the last few weeks, just trying to bash out as many episodes as possible. And I'm just going to put a bunch on a USB stick, post them to her. She's going to upload them for us. So I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to keep this. Sorry, you're not in that video. Right. We're going to be able to keep this going once a week. I don't want to promise anything to you right now because I've heard that it's really bad down there. You get 1 gig of internet for $50.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We really hope that we can get stuff out for you.
That's the plan. We like to do our best to keep our videos. At one point we were doing really good and we're about 4 weeks ahead. The Atlantic definitely ruined that.
Oh yeah, it was 100% preparing for the Atlantic. I didn't even get time to sit down and eat a bloody sandwich. We would just go.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, and then.
So we're trying to get ahead now.
It's hard when we have guests as well. Like when your sister and Mitch were there, I wanted to play with them, but there were quite a few days when I'd be inside doing all that. But I love it, so don't feel bad for me.
I was just thinking the same thing, Tim. I was thinking we should be sending multiple USB sticks out as well.
Oh, don't trust the post.
Yeah. And maybe send them to different places. Send one to Oz and send one to England, different people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Thanks, Tim. Randy would like us to rename our autopilot Randy.
Yeah, from
What
Ray.
happened to Oliver?
No, that's the tender.
Yeah, but we've told him that's out. We're not naming the tender Oliver. So, all right, yeah, I think we can do that. Randy Marine. Okay.
Pacific Cruising Guide. Yeah, actually.
You have to read. No one knows.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Emily's just said here, the Pacific Cruising Guide by Kitty Van Haugen is a good book.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
For the Pacific. We have heard the same, and we actually saw it in the chart shop the other day.
Oh yeah.
And started having a read of it. So, yes, we might go back and grab that.
Randy by name, Randy by nature. Very good.
Yeah,
very
like
good. We hope our autopilot isn't. Cheers. Oh, you're very welcome, Randy. It's the least we can do. You've been really helpful to us.
So I guess a few questions out to you guys just quickly. I guess what is firstly, merch.
Yeah.
We want to pull some merch out for you guys. So
thanks, Alberto. Thanks for coming.
Xanthe's going to be posting up some polls. So please give us your input on the kind of stuff you want, because really it's for you guys. All this stuff is for you guys.
And you've been really good at telling us what you want in videos. I want you to be really bossy, because this is your thing. Like, we do these for you.
Absolutely.
So I want you to tell us exactly what you want in the videos, and I will deliver the comments.
So again, we're going to try to put up some polls and make sure that we're delivering the content and the side of this adventure that you guys want to see.
What's the one thing you want most to vote? Sales, more sales, fun sales. Oh, that's what I want.
It's sales or a wind generator? You haven't decided yet.
Oh, no, I don't know. I'd rather have more sales.
What do you want?
Because we've looked into the wind generator and we've worked out that it's actually not that great. I'd rather have a hydro generator than a wind generator. Oh, lithium. Alberto, okay, I think lithium batteries takes the cake. Oh, Alberto's just said, do you want some lithium batteries? Yeah, that would be more than sales.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't even know where to start with this question. This is crazy, because I don't know where to start.
With the batteries question?
No, just with what we want on the boat.
I think lithium batteries, definitely. Lithium batteries. Just get this battery.
Nice big spinnaker.
Thing. A batteries and a spinnaker.
Maybe a water maker.
Oh, and what voltage ampage are our brand new shiny batteries?
We've just got 4 12-volt batteries. Each of them are 105 amps. They are a Deca Marine battery, which has got really good reviews online. Yeah. So we're hoping that, fingers crossed, they perform.
Touch wood.
So our boat currently has 420 amps.
Yeah, and a new solar panel that we made Alexa carry on the plane from Bali to New York, to Korea, to New York, to Panama, and everything arrived apart from her actual suitcase. So
we feel a bit bad about that. But
so Alexa's borrowing a toothbrush and clothes. So everyone pray for Alexa's luggage.
And but I mean, with that solar panel, it means we've got about 500 watts of solar now. So see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, guys. That was really good getting to know you a little bit better and having a one-on-one. We want to do this for so long. And amazing how many of you turned up as well. I thought we were going to be speaking to 1 or 2 people today. So, yeah,
absolutely. So we're going to try and do this again, I guess, French Polynesia. We'll give it a crack if we can find some internet. And
we'll definitely give it a go.
We'll have a lot of stories for about 5 weeks of sailing.
Yeah.
Plus 2 weeks of Galapagos. So make sure you get some more questions. Keep watching, guys.
Thanks.
And
thanks, Jack. Thanks, Reed. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alberto. Thanks, Randy.
Alberto.
Thunderbird time, Alberto. Yeah, you must go.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
All right.
Squeeze a line in there. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for everything, you guys. Made this thing so worthwhile. So.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for your support. It's awesome. And give us a call if you need anything else.
Yeah. Bye.
Well,
yeah, he's throwing me on the